All right, so I know it's getting late, and you know, I just was not having it like later in the second half of the day, and just knowing that it's the same feeling that I get, and just seeing or hearing just what Armando does, or is doing now. It's like I've asked a long time ago, about any further opportunities to to do more as a quote unquote graphic artist. But then I've always been told, well, your time will come, you just gotta be patient. When did that time come? It was never. So I just end up doing the same stuff. It's just now it's become less. I don't do birthday decorations. I mean, I don't do birthday banners anymore. I don't do those candygrams for the HR used to ask me for anymore. I mean, it's just my role in itself is just getting more and more useless. And it's like you don't got Armando just trying to even you know collaborate with me a little bit, like asking me what do I think of this design, what have you. We just go our own ways, dude. It's my thing is I'm there for 13 years, and then you even have a company president just going out and treating me and everyone like rookies, as if we don't know what the fuck we're doing. And the fact that for something simple that he has to tell Armando about, like, I bet you he always gives him his tone about when I'm not there, as far as like the work that I do, if I mess up on stuff like that. If that's the case, I mean, it's like Armando always told me that the company president always gets upset, this and that. I mean, he always gets upset that I didn't do this and I didn't do that. I mean, why would he be so upset? I've been in that dump for 13 years. Acts like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Treats me like a fucking rookie. Dude's a disgrace, man. Dude's a clown. That's why he needs to retire, but he won't. It's like he treats me like as if I don't know what the hell I'm doing when I've been there long enough. And despite any of the despite even if I were to do a lot of work, you know staying busy and doing all that, it's still never enough for that guy. So everything is just for his benefit. I told you, just had enough of that dude. That's why I can never last in that dump for that long. That dump is making me perceive life negatively, and it's exactly why I lost a whole bunch of these friends. And speaking of friends, dude, you know, I kind of touched on something in the group chat that I just want to briefly touch on. And this is no disrespect to any of these ex close friends that I have. I did say that you know that it just surprised me to have guys like Julio and Tristan, who, although these guys have been pretty hard on me and a lot of stuff that it just surprised me for our friendships to last you know like 20 plus years. Now I'm not saying this thinking that that I'm not trying to make it, I'm not trying to sound like I don't want this friendship to last that long. And when I say I'm surprised, I'm not saying that to react like it's a bad thing for me. No, I'm not saying that. Of course, I've had a lot of great moments with these guys, and done some travels with them. So there's no, like, I'm not denying that our friendships have never, like, I mean, at least until after the group text incident, the group text incident from last year. But like in Tristan's case, after what transpired with that whole Facebook glitch thing, which was totally dumb, but whatever. But I mean, it hasn't really taken a hit. Like, although mine and Tristan's has really been a roller coaster ride to where we've had a couple of silence periods, and then one was really long. That was obviously after the Hollywood incident, and just it's we have not talked for so long, and then we talked again, and so ours has had more roughness than mine and Julio's friendship. I mean, hell, after me and Tristan's ended, mine and Julio's were it was able to last a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? And especially since he had he's succeeding in his life. I know he's got his marriage life now, right? So is Robbie, and so is Andrew, right? And look, man, I mean, I know I've gotten a whole lot of criticisms from both of these guys, and a lot of it was rightfully so, and it's but nevertheless, I mean, I think like for our friendships to really last this long, I mean, 20 years, dude. To hell, I've known both of these guys going way back. I mean, one of them was in elementary, the other one was in junior high, you know? So I gotta say, in a way, it's a blessing. But then it's like, man, I had to look at it. I'm just like, I didn't think it was going to last this long, considering how many ups and downs that we've had together. Now, again, I'm not saying this to where, our I'm not trying to make this seem like our friendship has been pretty bad. No, it's not. But I'm just saying that it just surprises me that, our friendship was able to last this long despite having to go through a whole lot of that. I'm talking about the ups and downs. Now, it's if it wasn't for me and my ongoing worst, I mean, I'm pretty sure that our friendships would have continued. But then, it's just the fact that I'm still in that dump that, it is why both of these guys have just done their part, and it is what it is at this point. But I just started to reflect in terms of the surprise reaction that our friendship span has lasted this long. I mean, like I said, it's a blessing. Like for our friendships to be 20 plus years, and for the most part, we've had a lot of hangouts. A lot of them were pretty good ones. Yes, we traveled and what have you. And I could have applied this with Robbie too. I mean, although mine's and Robbie's, it didn't have as many, as many ups and downs as as I've had with these guys, but for different reasons. But for Robbie too, it's been 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, I just thought I'd touch on this briefly because I want to say 20 plus years is a long time, and it is a blessing, right? So, even though it's surprising, it's also a blessing, despite all the a whole bunch of criticisms that I got from these guys, and a lot of them were rightfully to my deserving, but no friendship is perfect, right? I just thought, like it just surprised me. Like, I mean, you would think that both of these guys were gonna be done with me like in the short term, considering of these really silly mistakes that I've had towards them back then. But nope, not the case. We were able to last longer than expected. So yeah, man, we had a great friendship run. So I just thought I'd touch on this a little bit. And I know my day has just not been so good, and hell, how many days like this had not been so good for me, So I don't know. I mean, it's gonna take a new job for me to just really, you know, get the fuck out of that place. And then I want to even have to deal with any more friendship issues like this. No more drama in my life. But as long as that motherfucker is up there, I'm talking about the company president, I'm always going to have more drama in my life. More and more of that. Because that dude is just, he himself has had to raise so many slip ups that it makes me sometimes feel like I'm better than that fool. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So I'm going to leave it at that. And so, yeah, you guys let me know what you think, man. 20 plus years. Yes, it's a surprise. It's an unexpected longevity, but hey, you know what? There's been a lot of good in our 20 plus years, right? And mind you, both of these guys have served as two of the most impactful friends because they have gotten me to be the better version of me than I was before. You know, even though Tristan was the first one before the second one that I had, which was Julio, when we reunited in 2010. So yeah, man, that's all I gotta say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.